Good, cause everybody, cause they will continue to play. Aine in our private spotlight. Look only at me. Where were we? Here. Then while you're watching, you have to stay quiet. Aine's going into work mode. Got it. I won't get in the way. Okay, but make sure you really watch. Today, Aine's going to be the best in the galaxy. No, the whole universe. Also, Clef can see me. Bright studio lights reflected across the wall of mirrors. The thin streaks of light stretched over the wooden floor like traces left behind by countless steps. This was Scarlet Beat's practice studio, a place where the sweat and breathing no one saw on stage piled up day after day. Alright, we're starting from the top today. Standing in front of the mirror, I felt a little different from the sweet-faced girl I was at home. I strained to my back, raised my voice, and pulled the whole studio forward with me. Right now, I wasn't Aine. I was Aine, the girl who stood on stage, but today Clef was coming to watch. My manager had given permission as long as it was only for a little while. That's why I wanted to show him properly. Not just the cute parts of me, not just the parts that leaned on him and acted spoiled. I wanted him to see how seriously Aine stood on that stage. Aine, you seem more fired up than usual today. Yeah, somehow the air feels all sparkly. Hee. Today's special after all. I see. Just don't get so excited that you rush the tempo. I'll do my best too. It'll be fine. Everyone's too slow. Come on, keep up with Aine. The moment the music began, the air changed. Aine stepped forward. Shizuka and Sumire followed her movement perfectly. The angle of their arms, the way their feet hit the floor, the path of their gazes, every single detail was serious in a way different from the sparkle I had seen on stage. What the hell? What? Look at the mirror image, the reflection of the mirror. So we got black pants, black, okay, short, and now we got black pants as well here. Even though she's what's her name? Sumire has violet pants, yoga pants here. Wrong color, bro. That part again. Sumire, reach your hand a little farther at the end. Yeah, Shizuka, you're perfect, but make your face look more relaxed. Understood. Your demands are as precise as ever, Aine, because if even the tiny details aren't cute, then we aren't Aine and the others. Sweat ran down her cheek. Her breathing gradually grew heavier. Even so, Aine kept smiling. She looked happy, dazzling, and more serious than anyone. The studio door opened quietly. The music stopped for a moment and all three of them turned their eyes toward me. Sorry to interrupt. Clef, you came. I see. So that's why Aine has been strangely motivated since this morning. It's only for a short time, but thank you for coming to watch. Thank you for letting me. I'll make sure I don't get in the way. You're not in the way. If Clef was watching me, Aine can work even harder. Aine smiled as she said that, and for a moment, she was the Aine I knew. But as soon as she turned back toward the mirror, the air around her changed. She was no longer the girlfriend who leaned sweetly into me. She had become the top idol Aine, the girl who stood at the center of the stage. Then watch me. Watch Aine's practice. I'll show you what happens behind the stage just for today. The three of them moved back into formation. Still wrong color. Yeah, Aine stood in the center. Shizuka kept the rhythm calmly, a little behind her. Even the color is behind her. Sumire matched her breathing with desperate focus and still stretched out her arms with a gentle softness. It wasn't the only one of them that stood out, but every time Aine moved at the center, I could see her pulling the other two higher with her. Amazing! The word slipped out before I could stop it. This wasn't the Aine who smiled at home. It wasn't the Aine who panicked after messing up her cooking. It wasn't the Aine who acted spoiled in front of me. This was Aine. A girl who stood at the center of the stage and accepted the gazes of countless people. Aine had been working so much harder than I had realized. She had been running so much farther than I knew. And what do we have to show for it? A loser leeching off our rich famous idol girlfriend? Huh. Alright, break time. Yeah. Aine-san, you're really amazing. Understood. That's enough for today. Sumire's footing is getting a little dangerous. I'm fine, I can still keep going. Don't push yourself. If you want to sparkle brightest on stage, getting proper rest is important too. When it comes to decisions like that, you really are the setter. Right? Aine is the setter everyone can count on. Aine puffed out her chest as she said it. She was sweaty and her breathing was a little uneven. Even so, her eyes were still sparkling. It was as if she was already shining even before she ever stepped on stage. Aine really is amazing. Huh? I mean, I thought I knew that already, but seeing it up close is completely different. You're really incredible. Hehe. Hearing you say that makes me really, really happy. But you know, I can work so hard because Clef is watching me. I heard a little of that. I heard it too. Wait, you two, don't listen. Impossible, voices carry in here. Yeah, the echo's loud. But I think it was very lovely. Jeez. Break time's over. Next part, next. Understood. Yes, understood. Everyone's too slow. Come on, keep up with Aine. The music started again. Who's in charge of the music? Who's the one playing pause and stop and all that stuff in the music? Yeah. Aine was smiling at the front, and then they disappeared. Wait, what? Why is Scarlet Beat? Why can you read the Scarlet Beat logo studio when reflected? What the hell, man? With a face very different from the Aine I knew, and yet undeniably as the same as Aine. She moved straight ahead. Alrighty then. The time I was allowed to watch passed in the blink of an eye. Even after I left the studio, the image of the three of them dancing in front of the mirror stayed in my mind for a while. Yeah, because the reflection reflected wrong. What I saw today was the idol Aine, a side of Aine's effort that I had never known before. Each of those moments passed slowly by. No matter how we spent that day, today kept moving forward little by little. Aine smiled. Her radiance was Aine, and the small expressions only I knew. All of them settled bit by bit, deep inside my chest. It was supposed to be the start of another ordinary day. The next morning, when I stepped into the living room, Aine was already sitting on the sofa. Good morning, Clef. Normally, she would have thrown herself at me like she was, leaping into my arms, but this morning Aine kept holding Rabbi and smiled just a moment too late. Morning. What's wrong? You don't seem like yourself. Huh? Nothing's wrong. Aine's perfectly fine today too, see? Her voice was bright, but unlike the usual Aine, her words didn't bounce at the end. If you're tired, you don't have to push yourself today. Am I tired? Aine tilted her head a little, like she didn't even know the answer herself. I felt a little strange since yesterday. It's like something deep in my chest keeps squeezing tight. Uh-oh, got heart problems? You gotta go for the doctor for that. Do you feel sick? No, I don't think it's that. Aine tightened her arms around Rabikun just a little. I just feel worn out. So you're tired. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? It's not sudden. Maybe it's been there the whole time. Aine smiled. She was smiling, but her eyes looked just a little far away. Aine? I'm going to get some fresh air a bit. Right now? Yeah. I'll take a short walk and come right back. I'll go with you. No. Her voice was quieter than usual, yet the one word came through strangely clear. Just for a little while. Let me go alone. Uh-oh. Are you really okay? I'm okay. Aine will come back, I promise. With that, Aine stood up. Did she finally see her worth? It's like, why am I throwing myself at this loser boyfriend of this? The footsteps she took toward the entryway were quieter than usual. Aine. When I called out to her, Aine looked back. Make sure you keep watching, okay? Huh? Never mind. I'm off. The door closed. Normally her cheerful I'm off would linger in the room, almost too bright. But this morning only silence remained. At first I really thought she had only gone out for a short walk. 10 minutes, 20, an hour. Aine didn't come back. She's late. I picked up my phone and sent Aine a message. It stayed unread. When I called her, all I heard was the ringing tone over and over. The small discomfort I had felt since morning slowly began to change shape deep in my chest. Aine? It was supposed to be the start of another ordinary day, but I could no longer make myself believe those words. The light beyond the window slowly shifted into the colors of evening. What? You never went to look for her? Alright. What a nice boyfriend. No wonder she got fed up and left. No matter how many times I checked it, the phone on the table remained silent. I couldn't just keep waiting. A voice inside my chest told me that Aine hadn't simply disappeared. She wanted me to find something. She wanted me to find it, but she was scared of being found. She wanted to test me, but she was scared of seeing the result. Holding that contradiction inside her, she was waiting for me somewhere. Guess I'm going. As I stood up, the hesitation inside my chest turned into a small heat. I'll show you just how much I've been seeing Aine. This time, I was just chasing after her. I was just following the footsteps she left behind. What Aine had seen, what she's afraid of, where she was waiting. I was going to see all of it. Even after evening fell, Aine still hadn't come home. What? You still haven't gone out? I thought you said you were going. Outside the living room window, the world had sunk completely into the color of night. My phone sat on the table, silent no matter how many times I checked it. My messages stayed unread. When I called her, the ring just went on, empty and unanswered. Aine, did she get kidnapped or something? Her voice from that morning repeated itself again and again in the back of my ears. I'm going to just get a little fresh air, okay? Where'd you get your little fresh air from, another country? Make sure you keep watching. Should I have stopped her then? Or should I have realized what those words really meant? No matter how much I thought about it, no answer came. Then my phone vibrated. It wasn't from Aine. The number on the screen belonged to her agency. Hello? The voice on the other end sounded terribly panicked. Aine hadn't shown up for her scheduled work today. They couldn't reach her. Did I have any idea where she might be? The moment I heard those words, a chill ran down my spine. This morning she said she was going out for a little while. She hasn't come back since. A short silence fell on the other side of the call. I couldn't say anything more. I had to look for her. By the time that thought crossed my mind, I was already heading for the front door. Should have done that a while ago. The first place I went was the pedestrian bridge, the place where Aine had given me the concert ticket. The place where she had stood in front of me, not as Aine, but as Aine in disguise. The night wind brushed coldly over the handrail. Aine! I called her name, but there was no answer. Only the white glow of the street lights stretched down toward the bottom of the stairs. At the edge of the handrail, a small decoration I recognized was caught there. A torn piece of the red ribbon Aine often wore. What? Did she just jump off then? The edge of the cloth was slightly frayed. Did she jump off of this? You were here. But she wasn't anymore. By the time I reached its place, Aine had already left. The next place I went was the station square. The plaza that had been almost painfully bright during the day was now sunk in the blue air of night. Only the lights from the station building and the street lamps illuminated nearly empty sidewalk. Warm light spilled out from the inside cafe. Beyond it, only the row of Aine advertisements stood out clearly in the dark. Perfect Aine, the one countless people looked up to. But Aine wasn't there. A staff member standing near the cafe looked at me and tilted her head slightly. Apparently, a girl in a black hat pulled low over her face had been standing in front of the advertisement until just a little while ago. She had looked up at the Aine banner for a while, then walked toward the live venue. I was too late again. Under the street lights, only Aine's advertisements shone quietly. The brightness felt painfully far away now. The next place I went was the front of the live avenue. As if yesterday's heat had never existed, the entrance was completely silent. Only the unlit sign glowed faintly in the night. This was the place where Aine was seen by the crowds, the place where Aine had stood as Aine. But now there was no stage light, no cheering, only a closed door and the night wind. Near the entrance, a ticket holder I recognized lay on the ground. It was the same design as the ticket Aine had given me on the day of the concert. What, really? Okay. When I turned it over, tiny letters were written on the back. Find me, Aine. Something deep in my chest clenched hard. How the fuck? This is very precise. If it was picked up by somebody else, then I guess, oh well, we're lost forever now. This wasn't a coincidence. Aine had come here because she wanted me to find her, and yet I was too late again. All I was doing was picking up the traces Aine had left behind and trash along the way. I couldn't catch up to Aine herself. When I returned home, what the fuck? I thought you were going to continue looking for her. Alright. When I returned home, the living room was empty. Well, duh. Normally, I could feel traces of Aine somewhere, on the sofa, in front of the kitchen, right beside me, but now the whole room felt faintly cold. Without thinking, my eyes drifted toward the end of the hallway, Aine's room. The door that should have been locked from the inside with fingerprint authentication. The door was open, just a little. It's open. My heart made an awful sound. This wasn't a place I could just enter without permission, but this wasn't the time to worry about that. I gently pushed the door open. The room was dark, but it wasn't completely black. Several monitors glowed with a bluish-white light. On them, I saw my room, the living room, the hallway of the apartment building. So many places I recognized were displayed there. Even the fucking map of the world? What the fuck? The geography of our country? What the hell is this? My voice trembled. It wasn't anger, still wasn't fear. I just didn't understand. Why had Aine gone this far? On the desk lay a single photograph. Aine from 2 years ago. Aine before she became Aine. The photo I had taken because I thought she looked cute. The photo from the day I casually suggested she try sending it to an agency. In the photo, Aine looked just a little younger than she did now. And yet that smile pierced my chest in a strange way. The Aine I was supposed to have found first had been quietly waiting for me in a place like this. Okay. On the back of the photo were words written in a trembling hand. Even though Clef was the one who found me first, my breath stopped. Aine had kept it all this time. She had remembered it all this time. The words I had said so casually that day. The fact I had found her that day. And probably she had been clinging to that memory all along. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Aine. One of the monitors suddenly switched. It showed the pedestrian bridge. No one was there. But near the handrail, another red ribbon had been tied. What? As if it were just a little newer than the one from before. Are you there right now? I ran out of the room. Okay. Out of breath, I returned to the pedestrian bridge, but there was no one there. Only the red ribbon tied the handrail swayed in the night wind. I was too late again. Again, I couldn't find it. What the hell is this woman doing? Is this a woman test? Something inside my chest began to crumble. Aine had wanted me to find her, yeah. No, not as Aine, not as the idol seen by crowds, just as Aine. And yet all I could do was chase after traces. I couldn't reach the Aine who mattered. My phone vibrated. This time it was from Aine. There was only one line on the screen. So you really won't find me after all. That's not true. It's because you won't pick up your fucking phone. I shouted, but no answer came. I called her. It didn't connect. I sent her a message. It didn't become red. On the night pedestrian bridge, only my breath disappeared in white puffs. I was searching for Aine, but the truth was, maybe I'd lost sight of her long before this. What is this problem? Where did this fucking problem come from? I searched for her again and again. I kept chasing after her. Even so, I never quite caught up to Aine. In the end, I found her beneath the pedestrian bridge. What? She was just below it all this time? You came. Of course I did, you dumb bitch. Where the fuck were you? Why were you doing this? I was worried about you. Aine smiled like she was about to cry. I'm sorry. I think I got a little strange for a while. It's okay now. Let's go home, Aine. When I held out my hand, Aine hesitated for a moment before taking it. Okay. That night, the two of us sat facing each other in the living room. I was scared. I felt like Clef was going to leave for some place I couldn't reach. What? You were the one who left, you dumb bitch. Everyone looks at Aine, but I started wondering if anyone really saw Aine. Well, yeah, it's because you got two different personas, one normal and one idol. It doesn't make sense. That's part of your job description. What are we supposed to get? I see you. I really do. Because I have eyes. When I said that, Aine gave me a small smile. Yeah. Then everything will be okay, right? Seeing that smile, I felt a little relieved. Not everything had gone back to the way it was, but for now I thought that was enough. From that day on, Aine became just a little quieter than before. In the morning, she was always in the living room by the time I woke up. Whenever I looked at my phone, she immediately lifted her head. When I went out, she would gently ask what time I was coming home. If I came back even a little late, she would be waiting by the front door. At first, I thought it was because I had worried her. After everything that happened, it made sense. Of course she would feel anxious. Okay. A few days later, as I walked through the station square, a strange feeling came over me, like someone was watching me, like Aine was watching from somewhere nearby. Yeah, sure. You're not gonna bring up the camera parts, the CCTV that you fucking saw in a room, the surveillance equipment? Must be my imagination. Thinking that, I let out a quiet breath. If it helped Aine feel safe, then maybe it was fine if she worried a little too much. Well, it's probably fine. What? So you're okay with being spied on that night? In the depths of a room that no one should have been able to open, countless monitors glowed in silence. There were more screens than before, more feeds divided into finer pieces. The entrance, the living room, the hallway, the station square, the pedestrian bridge. Outside the live venue, in that dim room, Aine sat alone. Her red, wet eyes reflected the monitor light. Her lips curved in the same sweet smile Aine always wore. But that smile was no longer the same as before. It's okay, Clef. I won't lose sight of you anymore. From now on, I'll watch you even more. So you won't ever feel lonely, but you're the one who has the problem, right? You're the one who's feeling anxious, right? What the fuck? So you won't ever get lost. I'm doing perfectly fine, lady. So you won't go somewhere Aine doesn't know about. On the screens, I kept walking, knowing nothing. As she gazed at me, Aine's cheeks softened with happiness. So, Clef, you should look at Aine too. Much, much more. How am I supposed to do that when you're being like this? Only the monitor light flickered inside the dim room. Aine's smile was gentle and sweet, and it was broken quietly and completely. Bitter end, the cage we share. Okay. That was hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. This is hilarious, yeah. Okay. Where did this anxious come from? Did I miss something? Because, hey, they thanked me. Nice. You're welcome. So I don't get it. So what am I missing here? Why did she feel anxious? I was I'm pretty sure I picked all of the choices right, right? I didn't pick anything that made her doubt I was looking at somebody else. So I don't understand why she was like, this isn't enough. Is this just a woman thing that I'm not? I don't understand because I'm a man. I don't get it. It's hilarious. Oh, a CG gallery. Oh, I love this. Look at that. She has this yondery eyes. So 2 more, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, there's a lot. So let's load it up. Let's see. Should we go for the beginning? Or yeah, let's just go load it. Go outside by myself. Maybe I'll go outside by myself for a little while. I see. You're going out for a little while then. A change of pace is important, right? And I have to go practice this, so maybe the timing is perfect. I said that with the same smile as always, but there was something just a little stiff about it. I'll be back soon. Okay. When you get home, tell me where you went, okay? Everything, properly. Only that last word seemed to come out a little lower. Yandere. After I had headed off to practice, I left the apartment a little later myself. The air outside felt lighter than I expected. Ever since yesterday, Aine's presence had been right beside me. It was sweet, it made me happy. It was so dense it almost made it hard to breathe. So just for a little while, I wanted time to walk without thinking about anything. When I reached the station square, Aine's advertisements were everywhere I looked. Banners, posters, the giant screen. It was almost like the whole city was cheering Aine on. No matter where I go, there she is. The words slipped out before I knew it. Are you by any chance someone very important to Aine-san? Huh? I thought so. Samir, that was a little fast, but you were probably right. When I turned around, 2 members of the Scarlet Beat were standing there. Why aren't they being mugged by paparazzi or something? Why aren't they being surrounded by people? But then again, I guess some of the people, I mean, the respectable fans leave them alone in these situations. When I turned around, 2 members of Scarlet Beat were standing there, Shizuka and Samira. 2 girls who had stood beside Aine on stage were now looking at me in casual clothes. How did you know it was me? Sorry, we shouldn't have called you out so suddenly. But Aine-san has looked so happy lately. She smiles at her phone during breaks. Before going on stage, she fixes her hair like someone special is watching. And the heat in her singing has changed. It's almost too sweet now. So we were wondering, maybe Aine has someone she truly wants to see her. The words made me hesitate for a moment. I could have denied it, but the eyes of these 2 girls, Aine's own teammates, were far more serious than teasing. Don't worry, we're not blaming you. We just want to know where Aine's radiance is coming from. Is the secret to Aine's charm being seen by someone precious to her? I don't think it's anything as grand as a secret. Aine was always good and she's always worked hard. That's wonderful. I think I understand a little now why Aine smiles so happily. Always, huh? That way of putting it, you really are close. Well, I guess we have known each other for a long time. Then remember just one thing. Aine is strong. As a top idol, she's more dazzling than anyone. But that girl is probably far more fragile than she seems. So please keep watching over Aine. Not the Aine we see, but the Aine who exists somewhere much closer to you. I will. The words stayed in my chest with a strange, honest weight. Because I could tell they truly cared about Aine. But someone was watching that conversation from far away. Found you. Across the street. Blending into the shadow of the crowd stood Aine in disguise. A pair of small binoculars was clutched in her hand. We saw that? Really? Sumire and Shizuka. Why? From that distance you couldn't hear what the 3 of us were saying, but you noticed Aine stalking you? All I could see was just us standing there talking. It looked like Sumire's cheeks had gone a little red. It looked like Shizuka was watching me intently, full of interest. And it looked like Clef was smiling, even if he seemed a little troubled. He's smiling. Somewhere Aine isn't. Even though he said he looked at Aine. Why? Why isn't Aine the only one? After a while, Shizuka and Sumire gave me a small bow. I'm sorry for stopping you so suddenly, but I'm glad we were able to talk. We'll keep this for mine. For now, I think it's something she should tell us herself. Thank you. No, thank you. Please keep taking care of Aine. With gentle expressions, the 2 of them walked away. I hadn't done anything wrong. I had only talked for a little while with Aine's teammates. Even so, a tiny snag remained deep in my chest. Clef. Aine. When I turned around, Aine in disguise was standing right beside me. The shadow of her hat hid her expression. You were talking to Sumire and Shizuku. Yeah, I ran into them by chance. You look like you were having fun. No, it wasn't like that. They were talking about Aine. It's okay. I'll hear the rest at home. Aine, let's go home. Let's talk properly in our place, just for the 2 of us. Aine's voice was quiet. So quiet I couldn't say anything back. Oh boy. On the way home, Aine barely said a word. Wait, I thought I was gonna talk. Come on, woman. talk to me. Even after we reached, sorry, even after we returned to the apartment, her usual bright voice never came. Only the fingers resting against my wrist felt strangely strong. We passed through the living room and stopped in front of Aine's room. The door opened, then closed softly behind us. The air in the room felt much heavier than it had outside. In the black screens of the monitors, Aine and I were faintly reflected. Hey Clef, do you remember what time you left today? Huh? You left at the entrance at 9:41. You stopped once in front of the convenience store and looked at the Aine ad. After that, you walked down the street by the station and met Sumire and Shizuku. How do you know all of that? Yeah, it's probably because of the surveillance equipment that's right in front of you that's so big that it's hard to ignore it. Because I was watching. Aine said it like it was the most natural thing in the world. I was watching properly. I was watching you, Clef, the whole time. Aine, that's... I was watching. I was watching the whole time. Yeah, I know. You said that like 4 times now. Oh, there you go. I watched Clef there. Sorry. I watched Clef this much. I love you this much. During practice on stage before I fall asleep. All this time, Clef is the only one I think about. So why? Why do you smile somewhere Aine isn't? Because I have a life outside of Aine? That's not what happened. We were only talking about you. I couldn't hear you. Aine couldn't hear it. All I could see was Clef smiling in front of Sumire and Shizuku. All I could see was you looking at girls who weren't Aine. Aine, please calm down. I am calm. Really? The tears seem to beg to differ. See, I am perfectly calm, aren't I? Because Aine can still smile. Aine was smiling, with tears spilling down her face. You've convinced me. With eyes... with eyes that looked like they were about to break, staring only at me. I told you to only look at me, didn't I? I thought you'd see me. Well, I can see you properly. I'm sorry I don't have 20/20 vision. I have to wear glasses. The Aine on stage, the Aine at home, all of me. But I was wrong. It was enough for Aine to be the one watching. No, then why? Why couldn't I be the only one you saw? Yeah, I couldn't answer right away. And the fact that I couldn't answer became an answer inside out. Why don't you talk to your teammates? From that day on, all contact from Aine stopped. No matter how many messages I sent, they were never marked as read. Did I get kicked out of the house? Whenever I called, the ringing simply went on and on. Aine stopped showing up to practice and work. Shizuka and Sumire seemed to sense something too, but there was nothing I could tell them. It wasn't that anyone had done anything wrong. Sumire and Shizuku had only cared about Aine. I never meant to betray Aine either. But Aine hadn't heard what we were saying, yeah. All she had seen was me looking at someone other than her. And that alone had been enough to break everything. Late that night, my phone vibrated just once. The sender was Aine. The message was a single line. Next time, will you only look at Aine? Bad and the smile she never saw. Hilarious. Should I keep going? Just one more. Ask about old photo. Now that I think about it, maybe we should ask her about her old photo. I ain't come to think of it. You still have that photo we took a long time ago, right? The one we sent to the agency from about 2 years ago? I do. Wait. Let me just stop here at number 2. CG gallery. So they're still locked. So there's still some parts that are locked, huh? Alright. I do. Actually, maybe I don't anymore. Sorry, since we sent it in. I think they said they want to set it back or something. Something about that felt a little off. I was the one who took that photo with my digital camera. In that case, it seemed like the data should at least still be around somewhere. Well, whatever. Then I still remember how you looked back then. So, do that pose for me again. The one from that time. Eh? You want me to do that embarrassing pose again first thing in the morning? I do. I'll take another picture of you. Huh? You'll take my picture again? And that makes me so happy. Then I was going to strike that pose with all her energy again. Is it the same photo? Oh, it's new. Cool. I thought I was going to go for the lazy route and reuse the same photo again. The same image again. I stood out on the balcony and struck the same lively pose she had back then. Her red ribbon swayed softly in the morning light. Through the camera lens, Aine looked a little more grown up than she did in my memories from 2 years ago, and yet she was just as dazzling as she had been that day. Got it. Really? Show me. The moment we got back to the living room, Aine rushed over like she couldn't wait another second. Hey, did it come out okay? I didn't make a weird face, right? Did the pose look like the old one? Aine bounced in place in tiny hops, tried to peek at the screen in my hand. Calm down, it came out fine. Thank goodness. Clef took my picture again. As she said that, Aine started intently at herself on the screen. She was smiling happily, but somewhere deep in her eyes it looked like she was gazing just a little farther away. You still got a problem, lady? What the hell? This takes me back. Yeah. Back then you were the one who found me too, Clef. You really thought I was cute. And then you even took my picture. Aine hugged her phone to her chest and smiled in the soft, melted sort of way. So I'm going to treasure this photo too. The photo from 2 years ago and the one from today. They're both Aine's that Clef found for me. Speaking of the old photo, sorry Clef, Aine might be late for practice. Show me lots of pictures later, okay? Promise. With that, Aine hurried out of the living room. From the direction of the entrance, I heard the footsteps bouncing in a flurry. Her usual car should have been waiting for her, so there was no reason to worry too much. There shouldn't have been. Suddenly something small on the floor caught my eye. The moment I picked it up, a gentle warmth spread through my chest. It was the photo of Aine that I had taken 2 years ago. The very photo she had said was gone because we sent it to the agency. Its corners had gone slide around and it looked just a little worn, as if someone had touched it again and again. Maybe Aine had been keeping this with her all this time. Had it fallen out of her pocket when she rushed out earlier? Cool. I would have liked to return it to Aine's room, but her door was firmly shut. I couldn't tell what it was like inside, and trying to open it without permission felt wrong. Duh, I couldn't just go in on my own. I'd leave it on the living room table. I gently placed the photo on the table. In the morning light, the Aine from 2 years ago smiled softly. The Aine I just photographed today, and the Aine from the past inside the photo. Both of them were Aine's I had found. Guess I should get going too. After Aine left for practice, I finished getting ready for work in the now quiet living room. The photo on the table glimmered faintly in the morning light. I looked at it one last time, then left the room. Okay, we can skip around now. Wait, same ending? Oh, come on. Oh well, at least now we know. So I'm gonna end it here because I have to prepare for work now. This is great, man. So this is Aine in our private spotlight. If you want to try it again for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. This is great, man. This is fucking great. I mean, some parts are hilarious. Like, I still don't understand why she was like, hey, I'm feeling anxious. Why? You already have so many cameras on me already. What more do you want, lady?